You're listening to After Hours FM.
Be who you are. Hey
Hi,
guys.
guys.
Welcome to the 9th episode of After Hours FM.
Oh my god, we're so close to 10.
Whoa, that's low-key crazy.
We should celebrate that once we get there.
Yeah.
Not to get ahead of us, but...
Okay, let us know what we could do to celebrate our 10th podcast episode.
Oh my god.
Maybe we can have like a...
The 10th will be... Won't that be the one after my birthday? Like the day after my birthday?
Oh my god, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the complexity of the LGBTQ community, and then especially in the media, I would say.
Yes, I would also say so. We're also going to talk about, after like covering the basics, we're also going to talk about the Heated Rivalry and I Love LA beef. More specifically, just Jordan Firstman and the two like main stars of Heated Rivalry, because I think that perfectly fits our video concept.
I don't know anything
Podcast.
about that. I feel like this is...
Yeah, she doesn't know anything about that.
This
But
always happens, though. I feel like recently you've been carrying the example.
true, but I just love thinking about examples.
You know, but you consume more like media
Media.
than me, I think.
And you consume more songs and
That's
music.
true, but we just haven't...
We haven't really done that as an example.
on the
lately.
on the radio.
Yeah, because we also have a radio show on Slim Radio.
You should check it out.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of the main things we're going to talk about. There's going to be more trust, but it's going to be queer representation within heteronormative standards. Because that usually happens. Like, then queer people will be represented like a queer couple, but then you still have the one that kind of...
Oh my god, the feminine one and the masculine
Yeah,
one.
like-
Like it's literally when straight people go, like old ass straight men usually go up to gay couples and be like, but who's the man and who's the woman?
Who wears the pants?
Who's the man and who's the woman?
Yeah.
Because I don't get it otherwise. Literally, how can your brain be so small? But okay.
Literally, is there something up there?
But
Be
actually,
honest.
I have something to say about this later. But I've actually encountered people while doing research about this who literally have that mindset.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them. Like,
yeah,
in
and
the
they were
world.
all young, by the way.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ew. We're also going to talk about biphobia. So interesting because there's so much to say because it's
Old
so
word.
normalized. Like, why is everybody okay with this?
Everyone is afraid of bisexuals. Like, who is not
Or
biphobic
they just
anymore?
don't respect them. Like,
No,
it's just like,
literally.
you don't exist. So
Yeah.
I'm
Like, what even is that? You just made that up.
like, pick a side.
They're like, bye. Okay.
No one's going to laugh at that, too. It's only going to be us.
Someone's gonna leave a hate comment about that.
No,
they're gonna be like, yeah, bye.
And then also the contradiction of the LGBTQ community, but I will go into that in a second. So I found this really interesting article about why representation is so important, because I feel like a lot of times we go into this also about when we talk about race and ethnicity and stuff,
Yeah.
which I feel like it's been pretty limited up until now, but still I feel like we kind of skip ahead, like, oh, this is wrong, this is right, but why is it so important?
Yeah.
Why do we want representation?
Because unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people lately who are low-key not against representation but don't really understand the importance of it, and they often say stuff like, yeah, but you should be able to consume media about people who aren't like you. You don't have to relate to every piece of media you consume. And just so you know, that's not the point of representation. The point of representation is that there should be an equal amount of representation between one person and another. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can't just act like a whole group of people doesn't exist, which kind
But
of
I
happens
also
so
I do understand why people don't understand the importance, because I feel like everybody's always about like, oh, this isn't like accurate representation, this isn't good, we need more, we need less of this, like, but I don't think people really explain why it's so important to them or to other, like,
True, but you know now.
I
so-
know. So, proper representation helps combat stereotypes and ignorance, which you want because you would like for people to not assume things about you when they haven't even spoken to you, when they don't even know you. Oh yeah, I actually have numbers. A 2015 study found that when straight people are more exposed to gay characters on TV, they become more accepting of gay equality. On top of that, a 2020 survey by GLAAD, GLAAD, and P&G found that queer representation increased queer acceptance by up to 45%, which I think is a lot.
Yeah, and some of you may have a hard time believing this, but if an old person is just watching TV and they like everything about the program, and suddenly there's a gay couple or a lesbian woman or whatever, or a transgender person, and then the person might change their mind about their homophobic or transphobic or whatever ideas because the TV show kind of convinces them that there's other types of people than they previously thought.
Yeah, and like not even just in TV shows or in movies, but also in, here you go again, in marketing. Like it's, if you represent queer couples, we're talking about the LGBTQ community, that's why we're saying queer, but this also goes for different racial or ethnic groups. But if you see someone or something you haven't seen before, like a relationship dynamic that you don't know, even an ethnicity that you haven't really seen before because they don't
represented,
they're not represented, the first time you might stop and think like, oh, okay, and you might even, you can react negatively because it's something you don't recognize, and that's not necessarily a really weird thing to do because humans like familiarity. That's just the way it is. But then the first time you'll really think of it, and then the second time you might still think of it, but then if it's consistent and if you're consistently exposed to these types of people,
it will become normal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's everywhere, in movies, in TV shows, in advertisements, on posters, like wherever, like anywhere. And it doesn't need to be, I hear you, it doesn't need to be like, because now you're gonna have people who say like, but straight people need to be represented too, blah 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 blah.
Bro.
But like, I'm not saying swap out every straight couple for a gay one. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying make it equal. Like,
yeah, and honestly, the people saying that, it's like, it's such a non-issue. That is a non-issue.
People know straight couples exist. Like, people are okay with that. Nobody's gonna see a straight couple walk down the street and be like, that's so weird. That's like, so weird. That's so disgusting. Like, they can do that, but don't do it like, don't put that shit in my face. Like, I don't want.
Yeah, I just
not
don't
in front of
it.
Children.
Who's the woman and who's the other woman?
What?
Like, I just don't get it. No, because people who say stuff like that about being afraid that straight white people are not going to be represented anymore give me the same vibes as people who are so chronically online that they are so like on feminist sides of the internet that they start saying things like, let men be masculine or let women be feminine.
Like nobody's stopping them.
Literally, like, open your eyes and put your thinking cap on.
Literally. I also wrote down that it's also important for queer people to see themselves represented.
Yeah.
Because it validates their experiences and affirms their existence, because it lets them know that they are not alone in their struggles that they might have. Do you have something to say?
And it's also like good representation. Obviously there's different types of representation. The bad sides, good sides should all be shown and should all be acknowledged. But as like, if you're a queer person, it might be comforting to know that there's gay stories with a happy ending and not everyone dies of AIDS, if you know what I mean. Like, unfortunately, that's how a lot of queer media looked like
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. And it would just be really nice if that wasn't necessarily the case anymore. And for those of you who like want more specific examples of gay media making people less homophobic, if you think about Modern Family, which is like a show with 10 seasons, and it was streamed on TV, I think since like 2011 or something. Like, it's really old, but or even older. But anyways, this show has one gay couple, literally one gay couple, who's like part of the main characters, and they helped people become so much less homophobic that they even had a huge impact on legalizing gay marriage. There's a
That's
Harvard,
so
yeah,
cool.
there's a Harvard study about this, and I think multiple studies about this, but yeah, they really did a lot for destigmatizing the LGBTQ community. And part of it is because the two gay men who form the gay couple are represented as like people who want to live together, and one has a job and one like doesn't at the start, and they adopt a kid,
And
like,
they are fully formed characters. They are part of the main
yeah, cast.
cast, and they have personalities
Yeah.
outside of being queer. Because I was going to talk about that, about how um, not all representation is good representation, and
Mm.
it should be nuanced.
Hey,
Of
bring
course.
back nuance.
Of course. But I wrote it down explicitly because I feel like I read about this article and it said it was talking about token representation, which is not helpful at all.
I don't know why I'm laughing so much. But yeah, true. Token representation not helpful.
Because then it's like one character is gay or part of the LGBTQ community, but then they don't have any character development. They're just there.
Yeah.
It
It
should
kind
be
of
nuanced.
dehumanizes
And
them.
also intersectionality. Not to get too complicated here, but
You can be gay and a person of color at the same time. Shocker.
and I feel
You
like,
can even be religious and gay.
wow, crazy statement.
I know.
I meant that sarcastically, by the way. But a lot of the times, I feel like now it's like getting better. But it used to be the gay character was only the gay character. The LGBTQ character was only LGBTQ, and intersectionality is so important. And like, it's so rare that somebody is only queer and like not religious. Not, of course, you have white queer people
Yeah.
who are not religious.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's less common
Yeah.
than people of color
Yeah.
or religious people being also,
Queer.
yeah.
Because believe it or not, there's more people of color on this earth than white people. So keep that in mind. And also, even if you're white and you're queer, if you're a woman, that's also
Exactly,
another layer
yeah.
of discrimination, or another part of your identity that makes you be perceived in a different way
Yeah.
than if you're a man.
It's never really only one thing,
No.
which is why intersectionality is so important
Mm-hmm.
and should also be represented in the media.
Yes. Because especially in the media, it's really hard to come across a character who is gay but also not white. Or like gay but also has a different body type. Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's a good
you know?
one. That's a good one.
Yeah, the only person I can think of is Cam, or the guy from Mean Girls.
That's
Damien
Yeah.
or something.
Or a gay, or they just have specific stereotypes for specific LGBTQ people.
True.
Because the gay women, the lesbians, are always a little bit more masculine,
Yeah.
portrayed in the media.
But it's never two masculine women in a couple.
No, because the heteronormative standards.
Yeah.
And then the gay guy is always, what's the word? Flamboyant.
Yeah, flamboyant. And just more feminine.
Yeah. Even though that doesn't have to be the case a lot of the time.
LOL.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that later as well. More.
Okay. So the next thing I have is queerbaiting.
Oh my god.
Because there was an era, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, where everyone and their mom was queerbaiting.
Literally.
During COVID.
No, I would say even earlier. Like even, okay, I wouldn't necessarily say that all of the things I'm about to name are queerbaiting. Some of them might just be queer coded, but there's a fine line, okay? But for example, Teen Wolf, that's pretty old.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, well, there's like two characters who were shipped a lot, but they never did anything.
I read in the article it said Glee. There's a kiss in Glee
Queer baited?
between two women, and then they said it was queerbaiting, but I haven't seen Glee, so
I've seen a portion of Glee, but they have like a lesbian couple.
I don't know. I don't
it's
know the
two
names. I
cheerleaders.
don't remember. Oh, it might be them.
Brittany and Santana.
I don't remember. I really don't remember. I think queer baiting, but it's also kind of complicated because what if
I feel
somebody's
like I'm breathing
genuinely,
into the mic again.
if you have that fucking Darth Vader.
I always have Darth Vader breath.
When I make the clips, it's so hard because I'm trying to listen to what the hell we're saying, but I'm so distracted by you
I'm a Darth
breathing
Vader
so loudly.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying.
I was gonna say about queerbaiting that it's like, isn't it also what if somebody's in the closet and they're just doing LGBTQ things, but they haven't actually said that they are part of it? Then people would still see it as queerbaiting, but it's not.
See, but the thing is, queer baiting as a term is a term to describe media. It's not a term to describe real people who live a real life. Like, it's a term to describe writing two queer coded characters and then baiting people to watch the show for
But weren't people accused of queer baiting?
Yeah, they have been accused of queer baiting, but it's the wrong term, actually. But we can still talk about it. And actually, I agree. Like, I remember when Billie Eilish was blamed for existing.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to say it because then I'm saying it again.
No, like, it's true. It's true. And no, and Jojo Siwa. Okay, people were accusing her of being queer. She was always like, no, I'm not. Then she came out as like
it was the same thing with Billie Eilish, though.
No, but this is different.
Oh.
Then she came out as a woman loving woman, and then people started saying she's a lesbian. She never said the word lesbian.
Yes, literally, this is what I was gonna say about labels.
Literally.
We were gonna talk about it in a second.
We are. But people were like, yeah, she's a lesbian, blah, blah, blah. And she's cringe. She's a cringe lesbian after she wrote like Karma and stuff and performed that dance. And then now she's in a relationship with a man and people are like, wow, she lied to us and she's turning the right-wing propaganda, blah, blah.
But even if let's say she did specify and she was a lesbian, what if she made a mistake? Or what if she turns out, oh, oops, I actually do like men? Or nothing is stagnant. People grow and develop
and people act like people lie when they switch from identifying as one thing to another. But it's not lying. It's just fluctuating between different,
But this is what happens if you push labels so much. Like, if you find labeling yourself so important, like, oh, but what are you? But what are you? What's your label? Are you bi? Are you pan? Are you gay? Are you a lesbian?
Yeah.
Then if you feel pressure to label yourself, you're just gonna be like, okay, I guess I'm this then. And then you feel like you can't change.
Yeah.
Because everybody around you is going to say something.
Yeah. They will invalidate you. Or they're going to be like, I knew it.
Yeah. Like, bro, let them live, bro.
But we're going to dig deeper into that in a moment. We just have to finish our bit about queer baiting. Okay. I want to name an example of a real actual queer baiting that is actually problematic. Supernatural is a big ass show. It had 15 seasons.
What?
Yes, 15 seasons.
Have you seen the whole thing?
I have seen up until season 12 and I watched it in 2 months. I don't know how I did that, but anyways, so it's a long ass big ass show.
You just weren't sleeping.
No, I started during the break, so that's how it happens.
Okay.
Was binge watching. But for a show to get that long, you have to have a very loyal fan base, and they did. Trust, they did. If you've ever heard the saying incest is wincest, that's from that show.
I have never heard that, and I don't ever want to hear that again.
The main characters are two brothers, and their names are Winchester, like their last name, and that's where it comes from. And yes, that's terrifying, but don't worry, we're not going to talk about that anymore.
Are they actually related?
Yeah, but they never... No, like the actors, no.
No, but the characters played brothers.
Yeah, they played brothers.
And they were shipped.
Yeah, the characters were shipped. Until a new character dropped. And his name was Castiel, and he was an angel. And he was
actually,
shipped.
Or do you just really like him?
No, the character was an angel from, like, heaven. He came from
heaven. I thought you were just a really big fan of him.
But he is an angel in both senses, trust me. But okay, so he was shipped with one of the brothers, Dean Winchester. And girl, this ship went so fucking hard. So fucking hard that this fandom invented AO3. And they also invented Omegaverse. Like, that's how hard this
No.
fandom went.
Did
Yeah.
they
They
actually?
actually invented both of those things. Yes.
Where is it? How do you know this?
This is common knowledge.
Oh.
You can look it up right now.
Oh, I won't, but
Anyways, as you can see, this fandom had a huge.
oh my god, I'm getting proof that it's confirmed.
Mm-hmm. Our researcher just confirmed this. And
That's so crazy.
well, but this shows how queer the fandom is, right? Or how there for the queer content the fandom was. And me, as someone who wasn't in the fandom but was watching the show, I saw what the people were seeing between Dean and Castiel, because it's so obvious that the writers are aware of all of the jokes and the fandoms and stuff. They make jokes about Dean and Castiel. They make jokes about even it's a really odd thing to explain because the show is kind of complicated. But anyways, it's very obvious that the writers are aware of this, okay? But in the last season 15, they had a confession scene with Dean and Castiel, and then Castiel confessed to Dean, and then Dean didn't confess back. Like, he didn't have
That
the same
is-
feelings.
But was he gay?
No.
Oh my god. That's so horrifying.
And it's like, what? And mind you, Dean was always the butt of the joke with homosexual jokes. Like, always. And he's this kind of hyper masculine man, and every single episode he has like a different woman or whatever. Not every single episode, but pretty often.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a running joke that it's overcompensation, or some people say that he's bi or whatever. But anyways, how can you make jokes about that for 15 seasons?
Bro, I'm more
And then
concerned
ruin
about
it.
the incest. I'm not gonna lie to
Oh,
you.
girl.
That I'm more concerned about than the queer baiting. Because I think that's actually a felony.
That definitely is a felony. But the thing is, that's why AO3 is actually uncensored. Like, you can write anything on there.
Yeah, but yeah. I
Have you ever
know.
seen the warnings?
I have.
Aren't they terrifying?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, but I think incest. I don't know.
Girl, one of the warnings is like they have
Okay,
insane ass warnings.
I know, but
And the reason, that's like the supernatural fan who was part of the group that invented AO3 also said that basically she just wanted a place where people could write whatever fiction they wanted and
I think that's valid.
not be silenced.
I think that's valid.
Yeah, because usually they don't write it as like some type of glorified, romanticized.
And I feel like AO3 is not that. I feel like people are generally not super proud to be reading.
On that website.
Yeah, I
anyways.
feel like it's usually like a kind of a guilty pleasure type thing,
Yeah.
which I think is a good thing. Like,
I
if you
agree.
were saying it loud and proud, then I'd be like,
What
maybe
the
not.
fuck?
Biphobia. You said something about the Jojo Siwa thing, about the fact that she's not labeled. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't label herself, and then people automatically assumed she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
I think the same thing happened with Billie Eilish, because now she has a boyfriend, or allegedly a boyfriend. I don't fucking know. But people were like, she's gay, and then she got a boyfriend, and then people got mad as if she only was into women, even though
Yeah.
she never really said that. And I feel like that's pretty common when people come out in TV shows or even in real life. And if you come out as bi and then you get in a relationship with a man, then I feel like you're kind of looked down on. And this
'Cause-
happened in my friend group, like
What?
a friend group. Back in the day, a friend, she came out as bi. It wasn't like a huge deal, but it was like, and it wasn't like a coming out as in like Will Byers. It was just word, like she just said it, and we were like,
Yeah.
okay. And then a short while later, she got a boyfriend, and then they didn't say it to her, but some people from the friend group, they kind of said I didn't think they meant it in like a mean way, but it was like, oh, so she just came out and then she went and got into a relationship with a guy, like, ugh. Also, I sent you a TikTok. They're pretty famous. It's Caleb Heron.
Okay.
I think you say his name like that, and then Brittany Broski. And they were talking about bi people.
Broski is such a funny last name. Like, her parents ate with that.
Is that her real last name even?
Maybe not.
I never assumed it was, but I might be wrong. But they were talking about how bi people, they were saying bi people, and then he was like, oh, bi women and their boyfriends, blah, 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 and he was going on about it, and haha, kind of not taking them very seriously, because to him, they always date men, like the women.
Yeah.
And then they made another TikTok, and it was, I don't know if it was supposed to like clear their names or it was supposed to make it better, but it made it literally 10 times worse.
Yeah, in my opinion as well. Because what did he say again?
He said like it first started by saying, oh, bi women with a boyfriend, you're valid.
Yeah. And then he was like, actually, I brought bisexual people into this community. And actually, I feel like your patchwork tattoos could be even smaller. Your fine line tattoos could be even smaller. And I love project managers, and I love people who work at ad agencies who have big purses.
And he said like, oh, your bi-ness is real. I think that's such a strange thing to say, because who are you to tell them, oh, you're real, you exist, by the way, your sexuality exists and is valid. Like, bro, come on now.
It just pisses me off when people feel comfortable to make jokes about other identities just because they're part of like a community. Because imagine being, I don't know, like a gay man. You're not gonna make jokes about trans women, right? Or like, does that make sense? Like, it's not your place.
Yeah, like, it's not, just because you're in the same kind of community doesn't mean you can relate to, you can talk, you know about everyone.
Yeah. And
or you know about everyone's experiences.
Exactly. Because, okay, I'm Middle Eastern. I'm not going to make jokes about other Middle Eastern ethnicities, because why would I? Like, there's still different ethnicities, and of course I can make jokes about being Middle Eastern in general, but I'm not going to make jokes about, let's say, Arab people.
That would also reinforce stereotypes.
Exactly. And it's not my place, because I'm not them.
Yeah, exactly.
So only make jokes about yourself or your oppressors. Thank you.
Because that's literally how stereotypes come to be.
Yeah.
If you talk about things you don't know anything about.
Yeah, exactly. So let's not keep that going. Yeah. And people are going to say we take this way too seriously, because no one took it seriously with that TikTok. But
that one friend who's too woke. Like, somebody has to say it.
Someone has to say it, and we need to kind of, it's okay to be.
And we're not saying anything too crazy. No. I feel like we're
not canceling them. We're just analyzing their conversation.
Exactly.
So one thing about bisexual people is that bi women are always kind of seen as straight, and bi men are low-key seen as gay. And there's just no way you can, it's literally this unless proven otherwise. You kind of, coincidentally, I know 2 bisexual people, 3, and all of them have only dated women.
Who?
But anyways, the thing is that this is so untrue, and it's kind of disgusting to hear people kind of assume these things just because people are that sexuality. Or then when this happens, which is expected or whatever, they kind of get shamed, like your friend who was kind of shamed for having a boyfriend.
Yeah.
After coming out. By the way, I think that's so stupid and just so ridiculous, because
it just makes no sense.
It pisses me off.
Yeah? No, I wanted to, because it ties into the double-edged sword thing.
I also want to say that this kind of makes people more hesitant to date bisexual people as well. Because one more stereotype that's biphobic is that they are very promiscuous and just crazy and more likely to cheat. And I've heard so many people say that they don't want a bisexual boyfriend, like straight women or women who are into men, because they feel like he would want something that she just couldn't give him. And I just wonder how confident in yourself are you that you truly think that for heterosexual men you could give them everything they could ever desire in anyone? Like, are you only gonna date men who have one singular type and who have never liked a woman before you? I just don't get it. Like, what's the difference? And people who don't want to date bisexual girls, and usually it's women who don't want to date bisexual girls, because they're like the same thing. They're like, yeah, I just feel like she would want something I could never give her. Or like, I just don't want people who could possibly be attracted to men. That's gross.
I only know about the fact that they're scared that they're gonna cheat. That they think they're more likely to cheat because they're attracted to
more people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Loki, just because you're attracted to more genders doesn't mean you're attracted to more people.
No, because you still have standards.
Yeah. Like, trust me, I know tons of straight people who are way more likely to cheat than your average bisexual. Like, trust me, it's not a sexuality thing.
And also, cheating it's not a sexuality thing.
No.
It's like you personally.
It's a personal flaw.
Literally.
And also, people who don't want to date bisexual people because they have a certain stereotype about bisexual people in their heads, and they're like, yeah, but I'm not into girls who have fine line tattoos and wear big purses to work. Or like, yeah, but I'm not into guys who drink matcha. Like,
moving on. We already kind of discussed this.
The double-edged
sword. The fact that the LGBTQ community is all about including everyone, and everybody's welcome, and everybody can exist the way that they are and the way that they want to. However, when you don't label yourself, you're kind of the villain in their story, or when you find out that you might be something else, or for example, you're bi and then you find out, oh, I think I'm a lesbian or something.
Like Chapel Brown, who had that, and now people literally don't believe that she's a lesbian.
Or when you label yourself as bi or as a lesbian and then or as a gay, and then you find out, oh,
you're straight.
I'm straight.
It's not as if the LGBTQ community can actually oppress straight people. Be fucking for real. Like,
no,
as a straight person, you will always find acceptance everywhere in the world.
But
like,
you found out you're something else, it's okay. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't make your past identities less valid.
Literally, because you can't know everything. Like,
No.
you learn and you find out. You fuck around and find out.
Literally that. And also, as human beings, I genuinely don't think it's that static. Like, it's possible to be bisexual for a while and then turn straight. And I've even heard of like people who are bisexual, but they're never attracted to like men and women. They're always either attracted to women for a period of time and then attracted to men for a period of time and then attracted to women again.
Name one thing that is stagnant in a person's life. Like, name one thing that doesn't ever evolve or change.
Yeah, you can't.
You literally can't, because that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything's always changing.
Yeah, and sexuality is fluid. Because gender is fluid, because gender is a social construct. Okay, so the thing is with labels is that they can be incredibly good, because it can give you, like, if you're in doubt about yourself or if you feel like you're different but you can't really put a name on it, labels literally provide that name for you. And if you put that label on yourself, you will be welcomed by a whole community who also shares that label or who sees that label as valid, and you'll kind of be accepted. Plus, if you label yourself, let's say you label yourself as a lesbian, then women are gonna know, like, oh, she would potentially be interested in me, and I would not look like an idiot trying to hit on her, you know? Or same for being bisexual, etc. And obviously, if you have gender dysphoria and you kind of don't feel very connected to the gender that you were assigned at birth, this can also be a huge help to be provided with a label that kind of explains your identity in a better way. So it's a good thing. Labels can be a good thing. However, what if there's no label that you feel like describes you? Or what if you just don't really want to be defined by who you're attracted to? Then people won't be as understanding of that. And if you don't label yourself, people are kind of judgmental about that. I want to talk about the only French person I respect, aka Michel Foucault, a philosopher. He was gay, But if you ever asked him, like, what does being gay mean for you, he would give you a bullshit answer because of this. So he basically believed that sexuality historically has not been controlled through repression or just repression, but rather through discourse. For example, in the Victorian era in the West, you were supposed to speak about sexuality, but there was a time and place. You could only speak about it in church to confess all of your thoughts and sins in detail. You could also talk about it to family and children about certain types of sex being bad, such as gay sex or sex outside of marriage. But you could and you were encouraged to speak about it just in a certain way that kind of framed the way people thought and practiced sex, if that makes sense.
Is this what he said?
Yeah.
Because that's the way it was.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
Okay.
Wait, Foucault is from the Panopticon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is from his book, The History of Sexuality.
So he's all about surveillance, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So the modern reaction to this control of what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, the modern reaction to that is kind of to claim and speak proud and loudly about who you are and what you do and what you like and what you don't like, and just be honest about it. But he doesn't think this is always a good thing, because by doing this, you are accepting sexuality as the thing people in this past described it as. And the power of the past is still present because we speak about it with the same rules that they created for us. Like, this is why he never answered when people asked him, like, but what does being gay mean for you? Because he didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to just be himself. Like, he didn't want to have to explain it. Just like how heterosexual people did not have to explain their heterosexuality. It just was. And it just was accepted, and people didn't question it, or people didn't require a specific answer that would be right or wrong or valid or invalid or morally good or morally bad. They just accepted it as something that exists. And that's how he wanted people to treat homosexuality as well, which is why he refused to kind of redefine it or to speak loudly and proudly about it, if that makes sense.
I think that makes sense.
It's kind of
slow. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just don't know if my explanation makes sense.
I think it makes sense. Like, it makes total sense because straight couples never, like, have you ever heard somebody be in a relationship like, oh, I have a boyfriend, and then be like, oh, I don't know, how does that work? Yeah. No one get like
that's actually insane. Okay, so what Foucault said was pretty radical at his time. In his time,
he was ahead of his time.
He really was. But even nowadays, you have a lot of people who are Villiva or MLF, but they just never come out. And then when they happen to get into a relationship with a person from the same sex, you know. But if they didn't do that, you wouldn't know. I think Rosalia is one of those people who never said anything about that, and she just shows up.
I think I heard something about that too.
But I do know she's had both boyfriends and girlfriends.
She has a girlfriend right now, right?
I think so. Yeah, that
model, yeah.
She's so beautiful.
I don't know her. I haven't seen her.
I thought people had like dating rumors about her and Alex Consani.
Really?
Yeah. Like the model.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Wait, the model and Alex?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant...
No. That would be so interesting.
I'm going to look up the model after this.
Ooh, you should. Okay, well, anyways, so expressing yourself or showing yourself through those labels that straight oppressive people created for you is not empowering, according to Foucault. Not according to me, but according to him. And I do see where he's coming from. But I also think that labels can be empowering.
I agree.
Okay, now homonormativity is basically the same as heteronormativity, but for gay couples. So the belief in heteronormativity, like as a woman, you do the cooking and the cleaning, and as the man, you provide and you make money. And yeah, obviously, if you don't fit the gender rules, then there's something wrong with you. And it's weird. And homonormativity is kind of copy pasting that, but onto same-sex relationships. So there's one more feminine person and there's one more masculine person, and the masculine person works and provides, and the more feminine person stays at home and takes care of the kids and the house. And this homonormativity kind of makes it easier for homophobic people to accept gay
because it's closer to what they
understand.
what they accept. And
Yeah. And I kind of feel like Modern Family started out this way a little bit, at least. Not entirely, but they were close to having the normal life in the sense of, oh, they are in a relationship together, they live together,
yeah,
they adopt a kid, you know?
that's
it's kind
true.
of, they create a nuclear family and they still talk to everyone in the family. So yeah, that's kind of homonormativity. And if you're queer and you're watching this, you might think like, oh, or no, I don't know, if you're young and woke and watching this, you might think like, oh, but this is not like a thing anymore, right? Wrong. So I did this paper about the acceptance of homosexual couples in religious versus non-religious households in the Netherlands. And a lot of people I talked to, whether they were religious or not, agreed that gay marriage should be okay and gay like couples adopting kids should be okay as long as the kid still has one feminine role model and one masculine role model to really bring balance and the best of both worlds. And that really shocked me because
That makes no sense
no,
to me.
like if you have a female mom and a male dad, is your female mom just gonna be the epitome of divine femininity and is your dad just gonna be the perfect masculine figure? No. And why would those two have to be so separate? Lord knows.
Bro, but I have friends who have parents who both their parents are like I guess masculine, as you would say. Like their mom likes to, she works,
how dare she?
oh my god forbid, but she's also like sporty, and
Yeah.
she doesn't like dresses, and she doesn't like skirts, and she doesn't wear much makeup,
And she's strict or whatever.
yeah, and she doesn't have this soft spoken
Voice.
whispery Nara Smith ass voice. And then that's okay. Like, we don't care about that because it's a heterosexual couple, so we don't bat an eye.
Yeah, and the same goes for people who have dads who actually are like outspokenly sweet to them and reassuring,
more emotional,
and actually spend time with their children instead of just making excuses to be at work or whatever the fuck. And people praise that and people think it's a good thing generally. Thank God, because it is both sides, both ways. And most women and men are not 100% femininity or 100% masculinity. And that would be dangerous as hell if it were that way. But for some reason, they want gay people to be that way.
They want gay couples to be the way straight couples were like
100 years ago.
Exactly.
That's terrifying.
Horrific.
Well, yes.
Because we all know how that went.
Yeah. Oh, that pisses me off too. We're gonna make an episode about women's rights and the downfall of feminism one day.
Oh my god, yes.
But people who want to go back to the bad, old, horrifying
just know
days,
that people who say like, oh, I choose not to be a feminist, the reason you have that choice, you can make that choice, is because of feminism.
Yeah. And if you're not a feminist, you better not study ever. You better not have a bank account.
Go to the kitchen.
Yeah, you better go to the kitchen.
Be dependent
right now
on a man.
Mind you, there's so many people that I know who are not afraid of being dependent on a man, and I am baffled at that confidence, because you could have the best man in the world and he could die. And what are you gonna do then? No, I'm serious.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I just didn't really know where this was going first.
The case study is going to be the beef between I Love LA and Heated Rivalry. So Heated Rivalry is a show about two gay men being hockey players and closeted and falling in love. This show was based on a book series written by a woman. Important. Bisexual woman, by the way, who also has a bisexual husband, by the way.
Wow.
But yeah, just so you know. Context in it, important. And then I Love LA is like a comedy show, American comedy show, written and created by Rachel Sennett, and it stars Jordan Firstman as Charlie, which is a gay character in the show, and the actor is also gay. Also important. So Jordan Firstman did an interview with Vulture, and he mentioned in that interview that he did not like Heated Rivalry because he said that it was inauthentic representation of gay sex.
Was there sex
in Heated Rivalry? Yeah, girl.
I haven't seen it.
Why do you think it's Heated Rivalry?
Because there's tension.
There's tension. Yeah. No, people were shocked at the sex. Like, people were actually baffled. And okay, out of all people in the world, I would respect it if Priya was baffled, because we were watching I Love LA and she was shocked at the
We're
sight of
doing
boobs on the
we're
screen.
doing a reaction.
Yeah.
I'm not conservative, guys. I just
No,
haven't seen
no.
this on TV.
Yeah, and, which is insane because, mind you, she's watched Shameless.
The thing is, I don't really watch like that. Like, I just do other things.
Yeah, she
while
listens to
I'm-
it like a podcast.
Yeah.
So that's why she's shocked. But yeah, Heated Rivalry has sex. Yeah. Anyways, Jordan Firstman says
And
that.
I support it.
Period. Jordan Firstman says that it's inauthentic sex because that's not how gay people fuck. He says that people want to be entertained by watching two straight hockey players pretending to have gay sex.
Wait, the hockey players he labeled as straight.
Yeah.
Or the actors.
I'm also confused by that because he said straight hockey players, but the hockey players are clearly not straight. Like, why would you have gay sex as a straight person? But anyways, maybe he was talking about the actors, because then the interviewer was like, well, neither Connor nor Hudson, who play the main characters in Heated Rivalry, have come out and said anything about their sexuality. And Jordan Firstman responded by saying, I am one of those bitches who says, then say it. A gay guy would say it. I don't respect you because you care too much about your career and what's going to happen if people think you're gay.
I think that's insane to say.
We have to unpack that.
Do you not agree that's
Oh,
a insane
absolutely.
thing to say?
Absolutely.
Because you can't force someone to come out because they... Do you know that show? Heartstopper.
Yeah.
Where the ginger guy...
Yeah, Kit Connor.
He got, like, pressured to come out.
Yeah. Because people were invalidating him and accusing him of taking roles away from gay men as a straight guy because he had a girlfriend. And then he was like, I'm bisexual. And mind you, he was 18 and he was forced to come out. Yeah.
Ooh.
And this guy is like, yeah, literally, I don't respect it because you care too much about your career and what's going to happen if people think you're gay. But I can tell you one thing about Connor and Hudson, okay? There's tons of people who think they're gay. There's tons of speculation about this. And there's a reason why they're not responding. And there's a reason why they beforehand, like before even starting the press of this show, decided together that they would not be saying anything about their sexuality. And you can speculate all you want, but I think it's so dumb to force people to come out just because they played a gay role.
But even if they are straight, that's
Yeah,
not
what
that
about
bad,
it?
right?
Like, if you play gay roles, people will be assuming you're gay, and homophobic people will be hesitant to like put you in their media. There's still tons of
But they're
stigma
not
around
taking roles away because gay people
can
gay
also play straight
yeah.
people.
So I don't really understand that.
Oh yeah, and then there was one guy who is also in Heated Rivalry, Francois actually. Francois commented on like an Instagram post that described this interview. He commented, there's not just one authentic way to portray gay sex on TV. Obviously, the sex that two closeted hockey players are gonna have is gonna be different from sex that sceney LA guys have.
But also, can I just say, not all straight people have the same sex. That makes no sense. People have different interests. People are into different things. That makes no sense.
Listen to that. Please listen to that. Who was someone who also said that exact thing? Foucault, Michel Foucault.
Oh my
in
God,
the same
Flynn.
book. He said that in the same book. And it's
Bro.
literally so weird to act like gay sex is inauthentic because you don't relate to it. Like, what? That's so funny, but
This pissed me off because it just makes no sense.
so yeah, and there's a larger discussion about people thinking it's wrong for
Could he be
straight
bitter
people to-
about something else?
No, okay, so he apologized.
Oh, okay.
He apologized directly to the actors, I think, and Connor didn't respond publicly, but Hudson did, and he posted an Instagram story of both of them smoking, and then HBO organized this event because both shows are on HBO, even though Heated Rivalry was created by Crave in Canada. Let me mention that because otherwise there's going to be a comment
Is
about it.
Crave a streaming platform?
Yeah, but it's like very unknown.
Oh, okay.
That's why the budget was low as fuck and the whole thing was shot within 37 days.
What?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. and it's really good quality. Yeah, they kind of wrapped gifts together or something. And Jordan Firstman also kind of publicly apologized by posting an Instagram story, and he said something like, at the end of the day, I'm just a gay man and I like Heated Rivalry and I was just being bitter, or I was running my mouth or something and I should have watched what I said or something.
It sounds like he was being held at gunpoint. That I don't
He
know if
probably
you're
was.
just making it sound like that.
No, I don't know. Like, I don't remember the exact wording, but he said something about him enjoying Heated Rivalry and him just saying too much.
Okay, well then I guess it's settled.
It is. No, it is. And I feel like this perfectly aligns with what we talked about today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because it's someone getting mad about labels or the lack thereof, and also getting mad about one thing being correct representation and another thing being not, just because he didn't relate to it. Yeah, kind of forcing people to come out as if the only way to be queer
Forcing
is to be loud and proud.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It also really ties in well with our YouTube series that we're doing.
True. So we are actually reacting to I Love LA on YouTube, and it's really interesting to see because
I really like it.
Yeah, same. And both of us are from Europe, and Europe is very fucking different, especially the Netherlands. Wow, like people in LA are
You've been to LA though.
I don't live there. Like,
true.
It's not. But people in the Netherlands are extremely direct and straightforward, and people in LA
this is
are
what
not.
you'd expect though. Like I would expect this, and also it depends
same.
on the on the circles, because it just gives high school.
True. It really does.
Not our high school.
No. If our high school was a city in the US.
No, we would be like Canada or something, because we were peaceful as
Canada,
fuck.
the city.
It just,
Yeah.
I got my high school experience in uni though. Trust me, I got because oh my god, I recognize them in I Love LA.
Wait, yes.
Unironically.
Wait, I recognize them too, even though I don't even know those people, but I know them from your story.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like I know these people. Like I know Ball.
You really do.
Wow, this is so crooked.
I think it's because since this episode is about the LGBTQ community, it's just not gonna be straight.
And that's okay. Anyways, that's all we had.
Yes. Yeah, you know the drill by now. Instagram and TikTok, afterhoursfm.podcast. Twitter, afterhoursfm without the H. Radio show every 2 weeks on Tuesdays.
We're back on.
Yeah, we're back on 2:30 every what I just said on Slim Radio, but you can also watch it back on our YouTube channel whenever, and the podcast every 2 weeks on Fridays, 5 p.m. CET. And we also make YouTube videos now, so that's really fun.
You should check it out.
Yeah, it's on After Hours TV.
Okay, anyways. Bye.
Bye.